For years, Barron Trump has been the target of endless gossip, internet rumors, and wild speculation. Through all of this, Barron and his parents, Donald and Melania Trump, kept quiet. But now, things are different. With Barron turning 18 and Donald Trump stepping back into the political spotlight, the Trump family is finally responding to the chatter. So, what are these rumors that have followed Barron for so long? More importantly, how will this new attention affect Donald Trump's political career? Barron has always been in the public eye, but lately, the spotlight on him has only gotten brighter. The big reason? He's just started a new chapter, college. But not just any college. Barron has enrolled at the prestigious NYU Stern School of Business, one of the toughest business programs in the U.S. Naturally, everyone's watching, and questions are flying. For months, people speculated about what Barron would do after graduating from the elite Oxbridge Academy, near the Trump family's Mar-a-Lago estate. Now we know, he's chosen one of the most competitive programs in the country, sparking curiosity about how he got in and what it means for the Trump family legacy. Interestingly, Donald Trump himself confirmed Barron's decision in a recent interview, providing some insight into the thought process. Apparently, Barron considered other schools, like the University of Pennsylvania, where several of his older siblings went, but NYU felt like a better fit. Plus, NYU is super close to Trump Tower, where Barron grew up. Now, people are wondering whether he'll live on campus like a typical student or stay nearby in the luxury of the Trump family home. No one knows for sure. NYU hasn't commented, and the Trump family hasn't shared any details yet. As soon as Barron's college plans hit the news, the speculation started up again. The quiet Trump, as some people call him, has suddenly become a subject of intense curiosity. People want to know what he's like as a student, whether he's following in his dad's footsteps or if he's charting his own path. That's when the rumors started flying again. Former classmates have come forward, and let's just say their stories don't paint the picture you might expect. During his time at Oxbridge Academy in West Palm Beach, Florida, Barron Trump didn't exactly live the typical high school experience. Instead, he kept a low profile, staying somewhat isolated, which only sparked more curiosity. This wasn't just about privacy, it led to all sorts of rumors. One former classmate described Barron as living in his own little bubble. According to this source, he didn't go to football games, school dances, or any of the typical events you'd expect a teenager to enjoy. The classmate even said, "I don't think he met up with anyone outside of school or went on dates." Let's be honest, this sounds less like a normal teen life and more like a carefully planned routine. Whether by choice or because of circumstances, Barron's high school years seemed far from the usual experience. Then there's the social media mystery that has only added to the air of secrecy surrounding Barron Trump. Another classmate from his time at Oxbridge Academy shared that Barron was never allowed to be featured in any posts or stories. His classmates found this particularly odd, as social media is almost a rite of passage for modern high schoolers, a way to stay connected with friends and document key moments in their lives. Yet Barron was totally off-limits. No one could figure out if this strict restriction was due to security concerns, a desire for privacy, or possibly something else entirely. Whatever the reason, it became clear that Barron's life was protected and shielded in ways that most teenagers could never imagine. While many teenagers in the public eye might struggle with the balancing act between their personal and public lives, Barron's world was wrapped in a level of insulation that only deepened the mystery surrounding him. Despite all of this, Barron wasn't entirely isolated or disconnected. Some of his classmates described him as having a surprisingly funny and engaging side, which was a stark contrast to the quiet and guarded persona he often displayed. There were moments when Barron would let his guard down and strike up random conversations with his peers, moments that caught people off guard and gave them a glimpse of his sense of humor. These interactions were said to be rare, though, and when they did occur, they often left people laughing or feeling a little more connected to the usually distant figure. But for the most part, Barron's approach to socialization was minimal, and he maintained a wall between himself and others that few were able to break through. This only added to his mystique as the quiet, seemingly untouchable youngest member of the Trump family. One of the most intriguing aspects of Barron's life, and perhaps the one that has kept people guessing the most, is his love life. At 18, you'd typically expect to hear at least a hint of a high school sweetheart or some dating story, especially from a young man growing up in such a public family. Yet, so far, there has been nothing, no rumors, no whispers, no evidence of any relationships at all. That silence, naturally, has only sparked more curiosity. Donald Trump himself was even asked about Barron's romantic life in an interview. His response was as vague as you'd expect, saying, "I don't think he's had a girlfriend yet." "I don't think so. He's a good-looking guy, yeah." His answer shed little light on the matter, leaving the public with even more room to speculate. The mention of Barron's looks only fueled the perception that there must be a hidden story, one that people were desperate to uncover. However, some of Barron's classmates were a bit more forthcoming when it came to discussing his potential relationships. One of them boldly stated, if Barron had a girlfriend, it was top secret. "We never knew about it." That comment, while vague, suggested either a level of incredible secrecy or perhaps the fact that there was simply no relationship to discuss. It was a statement that left room for both interpretations and, as a result, only contributed to the ongoing speculations surrounding Barron's personal life. Let's not overlook the possibility that Barron's silence on this front may be intentional. Given the constant attention his family receives, it's not difficult to imagine that Barron might be deliberately choosing to keep his personal life private. After all, in a world where every tiny detail is picked apart and dissected by the media, keeping relationships and romantic endeavors off the radar could be a smart move for anyone in his position. Of any information only provides ample room for others to imagine the possibilities, whether true or not. Now, here's where things take an even more interesting turn. With Donald Trump's return to political prominence, the entire Trump family is once again under the microscope. Barron, the quiet and untouchable youngest Trump, is now firmly in the spotlight. With that renewed attention comes a fresh wave of both new and old rumors. Some of these rumors seem completely outlandish, likely concocted by people who are chasing attention, clicks, or trying to capitalize on the Trump name. But others might have a kernel of truth, born out of the intrigue that has always surrounded Barron's life. Every aspect of his private existence, whether it's his behavior, his interactions, or even his choice of friends, has become a topic of endless speculation. The more Barron remains distant from the public eye, the more curious people become, and the more they feel the need to fill in the blanks of his life. But with every new rumor comes the stark reality that Barron's life will always be dissected in ways that most teenagers never experience. The more the Trump family steps back into the political spotlight, the more Barron will find himself pulled into the fray, whether he likes it or not. For example, some people claim Barron's isolation in high school wasn't entirely by choice. They suggest it had more to do with protecting him from the outside world. Others think the restrictions on his social media presence weren't just for security reasons but to shield him from any controversies that could affect his father's image. Then there's the question of whether Barron's intensely private nature is hiding something deeper, something the family doesn't want to reveal. As the Trump family steps back into the political spotlight, the noise surrounding Barron is growing louder. His every move, whether it's his college choice or his public appearances, is being scrutinized. Let's not forget that some of these rumors are being stirred up by people simply hoping to capitalize on the renewed attention. But as with any long-standing speculation, there's often a nugget of truth hidden somewhere beneath the surface. So, why is all of this happening now? Donald Trump's return to power has reignited interest in his family, and Barron is no exception. In fact, he might be the most intriguing member of the family at the moment. Unlike his older siblings, who are well-known public figures, Barron remains an enigma. The less people know about him, the more they want to speculate. Think about it, here's an 18-year-old with a famous and polarizing last name. He's grown up surrounded by immense wealth, political power, and controversy. Every little detail about him, no matter how small, becomes a puzzle piece in the quest to understand the real Barron Trump. As the youngest Trump, Barron represents both the mystery and the future of the family. With Donald Trump back in the presidency, the stakes are higher than ever, and every rumor, no matter how bizarre, has the potential to make headlines. Right now, the biggest rumor surrounding Barron is that he's autistic. How did this rumor start? Is the Trump family really hiding something about their youngest heir? The autism rumors have been one of the most persistent narratives about Barron's life. It all started years ago with a single poorly thought-out tweet from a journalist. The journalist speculated that Barron might be on the autism spectrum and suggested that it could be an opportunity for Donald and Melania Trump to raise awareness about autism. What followed was even more troubling. The journalist didn't just leave it at the initial tweet. She doubled down by posting a 7-minute YouTube video where she claimed to have evidence that Barron was autistic. The video analyzed clips of Barron at the Republican National Convention, including one moment where he clapped without fully touching his hands together. According to the video's creator, this was supposedly a sign of autism. The video quickly went viral, but not all the attention was positive. Things escalated when Rosie O'Donnell, a well-known TV personality, shared the video on her social media. This brought even more eyes to it and made the public reaction even more intense. Many people were outraged, accusing O'Donnell of overstepping by speculating about a child's medical condition, especially in such a public and unsolicited way. Critics quickly pointed out her long-running feud with Donald Trump, suggesting her motives were less about raising awareness and more about attacking the Trump family. Donald Trump didn't stay quiet for long. As expected, he responded with his usual bluntness, defending his son and calling out O'Donnell. He brought up their contentious history, saying his criticisms of her were justified. However, his remarks didn't change the focus from Barron. The backlash against the video and the ongoing speculation about Barron's possible autism continued to grow. Realizing the controversy she had sparked, O'Donnell eventually issued an apology. She said she never meant to cause harm and was only trying to promote autism awareness. However, many people weren't convinced. Some believed her apology was more about damage control than genuine regret. The incident had long-lasting effects on the Trump family. In Melania Trump's memoir, she shared how the autism rumors in the viral video had a devastating impact on Barron's life. She described how her young son was relentlessly bullied both online and in person after the controversy blew up. The internet became a horrible place for him, and it didn't stop there. The bullying spilled over into his real-life interactions, making an already difficult childhood even harder to bear. In her book, Melania passionately defended her son. She made it clear that while there's absolutely no shame in being on the autism spectrum, the claims about Barron were entirely false. She also explained how deeply hurtful it was to see a public figure like Rosie O'Donnell amplify such damaging rumors. Melania accused O'Donnell of cruelty and malice, arguing that her actions were less about raising awareness for autism and more about attacking a child to score political points against Donald Trump. This is a powerful accusation, one that highlights how far-reaching the consequences of a careless comment or post can be. In this part of Melania's memoir, we see the unique vulnerabilities of children in the public eye. Barron wasn't a politician, a celebrity, or even a public figure on his own. He was just a kid. Yet, the scrutiny he faced was relentless. This ordeal exposed the darker side of media and internet culture, where the fallout from irresponsible actions by public figures can be devastating, especially for those who are too young to defend themselves. While the autism rumors may have been the most controversial, they were far from the only theories circulating about Barron Trump. His highly guarded life during high school sparked endless speculation, with many questioning whether the level of protection he received was necessary or if it was hiding something deeper. Take his absence from his high school yearbook, for example. Barron attended Ox Academy, a prestigious private school near Mar-a-Lago, but unlike his peers, he wasn't featured in the yearbook. There was no official explanation for this decision, but it didn't take long for theories to emerge. Some believed it was a security measure designed to prevent his image from spreading beyond controlled media appearances. Others thought it was part of a broader effort to shield him from unnecessary attention or perhaps even to conceal something more personal. Barron's life at school was far from ordinary. According to classmates, he was always accompanied by Secret Service agents who rotated shifts throughout the day. He never walked alone, there was always at least one agent with him, even when he went to the bathroom. While this level of security is expected for the child of a president, it also set Barron apart from his peers in ways that couldn't be ignored. It made him seem more untouchable, adding to the mystique surrounding his life. Another unusual aspect of Barron's life at Oxbridge Academy was his approach to lunchtime. Unlike most students, Barron didn't eat in the cafeteria. Instead, he waited until he got home to have his meals. At first, this might not seem like a big deal, but it quickly became a topic of curiosity among his classmates. One student recalled, "He never ate with us. When we asked, he just said he'd eat later at home." It was strange, but no one pressed him about it. Given that Mar-a-Lago was only a 16-minute drive away, it wasn't exactly inconvenient for Barron to wait until he got home. Still, it left people wondering why he would avoid school meals altogether. This peculiar habit gave rise to several theories. Some speculated it was a security precaution, with his team ensuring that he only consumed food prepared under strict conditions to eliminate any potential risks. Others thought it might be related to dietary restrictions or even a personal preference to avoid eating in a public setting. And then there were those who believed it was simply because he didn't trust the cafeteria food. Whatever the reason, Barron's actions continued to spark intrigue and speculation. It became yet another detail that fueled the public's fascination with Barron Trump. Even something as mundane as skipping lunch turned into a talking point. With Donald Trump's return to the presidency, the entire Trump family, including Barron, has been thrust back into the public eye. As the youngest and most enigmatic member of the family, Barron has naturally drawn significant attention. And with this renewed focus comes a fresh wave of speculation and rumor-mongering. Barron's reserved demeanor and guarded lifestyle make him a particularly intriguing figure. Unlike his older siblings, who are well known for their public personas and active roles in their father's political and business ventures, Barron remains largely unknown. This contrast only deepens the curiosity surrounding him. Some theories about Barron's life are undoubtedly exaggerated, driven by people seeking attention or clicks. But others seem to have a kernel of truth. For example, the intense security measures he experienced during high school and his absence from public events aren't entirely typical. These details leave room for speculation about whether there's more to his story than meets the eye. From the autism rumors to his unusual high school experiences, Barron Trump has always been a figure of intrigue. His silence and private nature only amplify the speculation. As people try to piece together the puzzle of his life, whether it's his dietary habits, his social interactions, or his guarded routine, every detail becomes a topic of discussion. With Donald Trump back in the presidency, the scrutiny on the Trump family is at an all-time high. Barron, as the youngest and most mysterious member, is no exception. While much of the speculation is likely baseless, it's clear that the world remains captivated by his story. Right now, what most people are interested in knowing is what path he will choose for the future. Will he follow in his father's footsteps or take a different approach? Barron Trump's future remains a topic of fascination. There's been a lot of speculation about what direction he might take as he gets older. Given his unique position as the youngest member of the Trump family, his choices could help shape the legacy he inherits. One of the most talked about possibilities is whether Barron will follow his father into the world of politics. While this might seem unlikely given his low profile and reserved nature, it's not entirely out of the question. The Trump name still carries significant influence in the political arena, and Barron, whether actively or passively, will always be associated with that legacy. However, with his older siblings, Donald Trump Jr., Ivanka, and Eric, already deeply involved in the political and public-facing aspects of the family's brand, Barron might feel less pressure to step into that realm. The ongoing rumors surrounding Barron Trump reflect the intrigue and curiosity that many people have about him. Given his low-profile lifestyle, his family's prominence, and the mystery he maintains around his personal life, his choice to stay out of the spotlight only fuels further speculation. With his education at a prestigious business school like NYU Stern, it's clear that he is being prepared for something significant in the future. Whether he will continue to follow his family's legacy in business, take on a political role, or carve his own path remains to be seen. As for the rumors, they seem largely speculative, often based on assumptions and limited information. While his quiet demeanor and choice to stay out of the public eye might invite theories about his personality or health, the truth is that there isn't sufficient public information to validate these claims. It's also possible that his reserved nature is a deliberate choice to maintain privacy given the relentless public scrutiny his family faces. Given Barron's upbringing in the public eye, he has undoubtedly developed the resilience to handle rumors. The Trump family has shown an ability to endure public scrutiny and thrive despite it. Whether any of the rumors hold true, it's unlikely they will shape his future decisions. He may choose to take a different route, separate from politics or business, and pursue a career or passion that is entirely his own. Ultimately, while the fascination with him is understandable, it's important to remember that Barron is still a young man, and many of the rumors circulating are just that, rumors. What will truly shape his future are his own choices, independent of the speculation that surrounds him. What do you think about how Barron's privacy is being handled? Do you think he should stay out of the spotlight, or is there a reason to share more of his journey with the public?